Okay, if you were absent on Friday before spring break, the lesson we did was 11.4 on solving one-step inequalities. So I thought I'd remind you how you log into the online textbook in case you need to watch a lesson video that isn't one I made or you need extra help. So you log in with your email and your password is your student ID MPS and you'll log in and you'll click on go to online textbook and select the chapter and videos and activities. And on Friday before spring break, we did lesson 11.4. So if you were absent on that day, you'll want to get a notebook out and take notes on these videos. And you will want to make sure that you know how to do these because these will be on the test. If you click on this and it says Flash Player, click Flash Player and hit Allow. If it doesn't have this pop up, then click Manage and turn off pop-up blockers and then go back through this again and then click Allow this time. Nothing will happen, so I'm going to close it again and do it again. And then it should work.
Let's take a look at see how we could solve certain types of inequalities that involve us either multiplying or dividing. Here's a sort of a straightforward example. 20 is greater than m divided by 3. Well, you see what I really want to do here is I want to undo the division by 3. And the way I can do this actually is to multiply by 3, but if I do that on this side, I have to do it on the other side. Now, it turns out that solving an inequality and solving an equality are very similar. In fact, if you multiply both sides of an inequality by a positive number, in fact, nothing happens. Nothing changes. It's all good. The complication comes in when we multiply or divide an inequality by a negative number. If we multiply or divide an inequality by a negative number, that's going to actually force us to reverse the inequality symbol. But in this case, we want to multiply both sides by 3. 3 is positive, and we're good to go. So if I multiply both sides by 3, the inequality symbol will stay as it is. But you'll notice that 3 over 3, that actually is 1, so I'm just left with m all by itself. Here I'm left with 60, so I have 60 is greater than m, or you could read it backwards as m is less than 60. Either way is fine. And we can graph this. So if you want to see the solution, and we can actually graph all the solutions on a number line.
We talked about in class how I want the variable to be on the left side, and that's pretty standard to have the variable on the left side, so make sure that you switch it around.
And we say, okay, all the action starts at 60. Put a circle there. I color in the circle if, in fact, the inequality includes an equal sign, but it doesn't. This is saying 60 is strictly bigger than m, which means that m is going to be smaller than 60, which means to the left. And so I put an arrow leftward with an open circle. That represents the solution. And you can actually check your answer a little bit if you want to make sure that we're on the right side, or in this case, make sure we're on the left side. For example, we could pick 59. If we pick 59 and we plug it back in here, 59 over 3 is about 19.6. Actually, it's 19.66666. And you can see 19.6666 is certainly smaller than 20. 20 is greater than 19.6666. So therefore, that should be included. Whereas if we picked a point, let's say 61, which is to the right of 60, 61 over 3 is 20.33333. And notice 20 is not greater than 20.3333. So in fact, that should not be included. So you can see this answer really does check. All right, let's try another one together. Have some fun. Get down with the inequality. Negative 5x is less than or equal to 55. Okay, well here what I want to do, to undo the multiplication of negative 5 in front of the x, I want to divide both sides by negative 5. Ooh. But if I'm going to divide both sides or multiply both sides of an inequality by a negative number, that's going to reverse the inequality symbol. So we best be ready for this. So now I'm going to divide through by negative 5. But that's going to force me to reverse this. And so what I see now is x is greater than or equal to. Do you see how I've actually reversed the inequality symbol? And 55 divided by negative 5 is negative 11. And so there's my answer. And if you want to visualize that answer, you can. We start at 11, open circle, and then I ask, do I want to color it in? Well, I want to color it in if I'm allowed to equal, hello. Hello. This is not even right because I want negative 11. Did you notice that? Negative 11. Negative 11. This is not good. I will do it for you live. I will give you a clean, fresh one. You deserve a clean, correct, fresh number line. This is the solution. I'm going to give it to you. That's the kind of guy I am. So I'll put 0 over here. And so here's like 1, here's 2. So here's negative 1, negative 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. This is negative 11 right here. And so on. There's negative 5. Okay. So, our solution is going to be x is going to be greater than or equal to negative 11. So, I put a big open circle here, and then ask, should I color it in? Well, is x allowed to equal negative 11? It sure is. And so, in fact, I color it in. And then which way do I go? I want x to be greater than negative 11, so I move to the right. And that represents the solution set. And that keeps going and going and going. Very cool. So you can actually graph and visualize the solution set. The key thing to remember is when you multiply or divide an inequality by a negative number, you have to reverse the inequality symbol. That's it.
And then we'll watch the second example from 11.4.
Hey, I want to tell you a story that I heard recently about a small group of folks that make up the chess club at a particular school. The chess club sold T-shirts as a fundraiser for their annual tournament and party. And those chess people know how to party. Now, there's 7 members, and each of the 7 members made at least $100 in T-shirt sale. So that's pretty good. Now, if the T-shirts sold for $18.50 each, the question is, how many T-shirts did they sell? All right, so let's think about this. We know that each of the 7 members made at least $100, and the T-shirts sold for $18.50. Let's say they sold X number of T-shirts. Okay? So they sold X number of T-shirts. How much money would they have made? Well, 18.5 times X, because that's how much they'd get for each shirt multiplied by the total number of shirts. So that's the total amount. And what do we know about that amount? That amount is going to be what? Well, greater than or equal to 100 times 7, because each of them made at least $100, but maybe more. So, in fact, this has got to be greater than or equal to 7 times 100. All right, well, that's actually 700. All I've got to do is divide both sides by 18.5. So I have x greater than or equal to 700 divided by 18.5. which if we work it on the calculator is 37.8. So x is going to be greater than or equal to 37.8. X represents the number of t-shirts. Of course, we can't have fractional parts of t-shirts, so we have to have x being greater than or equal to 38. So we can say they sold at least 38 t-shirts, possibly more, but at least 38 t-shirts. You know, the chess club really is a great thing because it reminds me a lot of the similarities between chess and a lot of things, whether it's sports where you're trying to actually plan out a strategy, or whether it's music where you're looking for a pattern, or whether it's mathematics where you're doing both, looking for patterns, figuring out strategies, and putting your opponent on attack. It's your move. See you soon.
So we didn't have any homework after we watched those videos, but if you want to study, you could go to Student Resources and you could expand Lesson 11.4, and there are interactive practice quizzes there that you could take, so you could solve this and pick which graph matches this, and it's usually about, this one's 5 questions. So that's a good way to study, to see right away, are you doing it correctly? There's also extra homework, problem solving, and note-taking skills to help you. There's no homework for this specific lesson on Friday before spring break. We just did something in class. Okay? Good luck.